Hybrid work is here to stay. That's something we already know. But the numbers, what the numbers are describing here, they are telling quite a lot that 73% of employees want flexible remote options to stay, as well as 82% of workers want to work from home at least 1 day per week. So people got used to remote work during the pandemic and they wanted to stay just. And nearly 30% of people will quit if not allowed to go remote. So we know many stories from companies that they wanted to, they were not so sure to implement hybrid ways of working, but once they started listening to their employee, they just changed their minds. And there are two key reasons for measuring transition to hybrid. The first one is the great attrition that is coming, as 74% of people are willing to live without another job lined up. So, the world has no limits in finding the job right now. So people, they feel really free to look at other countries and continents while searching for the job. And the second reason is the productivity and innovations. So there are a lot of challenges of hybrid work connected to those two topics. And the first one is collaboration and cognitive overload we are already facing, and you probably hear about it from your employees already, as well as context switching and no quality for deep work time. But it is also the eroded connectivity and peer-to-peer learning, as well as cross-team knowledge brokerage, alignment, and cohesion. So teams tend to siloing in a remote environment. It is much harder to keep cross-team connections at the same level as we've been working in the office.
Anita, maybe it's a good moment before I even explore the next slide, because I can see first question popping up. Thanks, Anthony, for the question. We'll try and take a couple of questions from you. And at the end, hopefully the time will allow for it. So yeah, keep them coming. Unless we're able to really cover all of it, we'll try to create a Q&A one page and also make it available to all of you. So for now, bear with us. We won't be interrupting because many of the questions we've experienced are answered later on in the presentation. So we will not be taking them on the go, but we'll try to make a dedicated Q&A session. Just, yeah, we are really keen on making it interactive. It's just we realize that many questions simply tend to be answered later. But thanks for your question, Anthony. And of course, we're very much looking forward to them. All right, so this is something very much relating to what Anita said. This is what I've been struggling with as a people function executive. As I mentioned, dynamic, big organizations, you might think really already mature organizations in terms of remote smart culture. And still we were struggling with productivity, yeah, that would, like go up and down sometimes for no clear reasons. And then, of course, it was all about employee well-being, and also the fact that we try and, without them even being able to name and pinpoint certain challenges, we would really want to make sure to even help them somehow understand what is going on and why their well-being is maybe not in the best condition. And then it's about development, including peer-to-peer, as Anita mentioned, including social collaborative learning, so learning in the flow of work. This is all heavily impaired in this hybrid environment. As I mentioned, even in really mature, remote-first, remote-smart organizations, it may be a challenge, especially if they're growing fast, let alone hybrid organizations where we need to really make sure we design an inclusive ways of working and collaboration and communication. So of course, I had these two challenges, and our primary goal, and now our primary goal as Network Perspective, is to try and find the answers to these two dimensions. We'll explore them today in more detail, but these are our key two dimensions. And of course, they are also interdependent. But then what I would say, like, this overarching goal is really the support for people leaders, yeah, in evolving their team's work patterns, their team's routines and rituals, so that they can really boost productivity and ensure employee well-being and development. And through that, of course, engagement and retention, and we know it all. Yeah, we'll look at different people analytics later on.
And when we talk to people leaders, those are also challenges they're facing: the team's productivity in remote or hybrid, and also the team's well-being. So that is also what we hear from people leaders directly.